What's going on, everybody? If you love God, love people, and love real estate, you're in the right place because we show you all how to start your own independent living facility without the need to own the property, no state walkthroughs, and no state oversight. And these are called independent living facilities. Welcome, everybody. My name is Derrick Forster. I'm the owner and operator of Second Chance Housing. That's my personal independent living facility. But I'm also the thought leader of Forston Consultants, where me and my family, especially this beautiful thing right here, my wife, we go all over the world showing people what is this concept? How can you involve the love of God, helping people and real estate, and put it all in a blender and pour that love all over the place? So again, that's who we are. That's what we do. But Shay, what do you do? What's your part of this clown show?
Listen, so much is happening, Derrick. I am Shanye Shea Forston, co-founder here at Forston Consultants, but my expertise is in business in general, and it also goes to the arm of nonprofits. So I am a nonprofit 501c3 organization that operates independent living facilities, and I also help people, really get the understanding of what is the significance of an independent living facility for one, and then how can they manage it as a nonprofit for existing nonprofits, for nonprofits that are, new to the nonprofit space. This is an opportunity for your nonprofit to earn an income while also doing a good deed. So what you have to realize is the ILF model is both lucrative as a for-profit and for a nonprofit. You all will see it in my course, Know Before You Go Nonprofit Organizations. The automation was completed today. So tomorrow we'll be sending out emails to our ILF Mastery Blueprint family members. And then the live purchase link for anybody that is interested in purchasing the course, Know Before You Go Nonprofit, which is a 7-module course that's literally breaking down all of the things that I wish I would have known before I took that dive into becoming a nonprofit founder. So Know Before You Go Nonprofit, I will be releasing a lot more detail on my social media platforms, and that is Angela Denise Foundation on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. Where we'll have links for you all to go and purchase that. But for our ILF Mastery Blueprint people, all we're asking for is a $35 donation. I landed on a number 35. Don't ask me why.
That's the cheat code right there.
It's just a donation for my ILF family. And you get full access to it. I'm also working on something else that I haven't shared. I told Derrick it's a surprise, but I'll be working on something else that will also be uploaded to that course once it is completed for you all to have. So again, not only do I have ILFs, which are independent living facilities, I do this from a nonprofit standpoint. And that is one of our, that is our our most significant income for our nonprofit organization. So I'm super excited about it. Super excited about tonight's conversation. Put your questions in the chat. Those of you that are on TikTok, we will try to get to you all and answer questions in the near future.
We're streaming in several different places. So depending on where you are, like if you're on like Clubhouse or Chatter or like X, in those places where you can't see us, you may want to come to the YouTube channel. Correct. So we simulcast all the time, but nevertheless, man, thank y'all so much for being here. You guys have a lot of choices of where you could be, but y'all chose to be here, and we super appreciate that. Now, I also never take for granted that people just know who we are and what we do. How many of you all would say that you're completely new to us in terms of just being here on the channel? Like if you're new to us and you've discovered us in the last 14 days, type the word new in the chat. So and again, just personally, thank you all because again, we come here every Monday religiously, every Tuesday religiously at 7 p.m. Eastern to make sure you guys understand this concept that changed my whole life. Y'all, I don't hide it from nobody. Y'all, I've been poor most of my whole life until God gave me this. And y'all know what I mean, right? And trust me, I got 2 definitions for poor now. But not that I was ever homeless. Guys, I never ate out the trash can. I don't know what it means to go to bed hungry. Not like that. But how many of you all are just like me to say that you never kind of had enough, robbing Peter to pay Paul, right? Like my life wasn't glamorous. But boy, when God gave me this thing, y'all, and I truly believe that it's because it's ministry. And I'm no pastor, I'm no priest, I'm no bishop, I'm none of that stuff, right? But I just simply love God, we love people, and we love real estate. And God was genius enough to allow us to merge it all together. So I barely graduated high school. My wife tricked me to go to college.
Sure did.
But y'all, like I tell everybody, like, don't get it twisted. I saw this vision from somebody else. I wasn't some genius that just woke up one morning and just thought of this idea. I always wanted to help people. I always liked the thought of getting involved into real estate. Most wealthy people I know, Shay, they're involved in real estate.
Right. Yeah.
So my prayer to God was, God, I want to be rich. And God, I want to help people. But dummy me, I tell you guys all the time, man, God gave me exactly what I asked him for through the job he gave me and through showing me a lady that was making $41,000 a month, y'all, doing this in rats and roaches. Terribly. So a lot of what we're going to talk about tonight, it's just the opposite of what I saw 8 years ago, y'all. And I'm going to say that real slow for all my new people. Right. So, Mr. Clifton, you new to me, right? Bro, can you imagine me just like you today? Because I can imagine if you're here like Shane and my other people, you want to do this. I saw a lady living my dream, y'all, 8 years ago doing this in rats and roaches, like in filth and grime. And because I knew y'all wasn't going to believe me, I took pictures of it. Right. So I'm going to show y'all today what it looked like. Because when people wouldn't teach me, I snuck and went and saw what it looked for myself. Yeah. And that girl told me just as clear that she said, Derrick, I'll never teach you how to do this. You keep sending me them people as the social worker. You stay the social worker, Derrick.
And let me make
two of y'all put in the chat, the devil is a liar.
And let me make this money. That's pretty much what she said.
And y'all, I snuck to her places. And usually I take 2 hours to tell this one story. I'm going to be done in 45 seconds. I took a Saturday, y'all, and I went to all her places myself. Yeah. Dummy me, Derrick. I was the social worker. Why did I think of that 8 years prior? Yeah. I was on that job for 9 years, and you know it as my wife. Begging God to change my life financially, begging God to get into real estate. God was like, Derrick, wake up, bro. Here go a girl make 41 grand a month mistreating my people.
I need you.
What you gonna do about that, Derrick?
I need you to step in, sir.
Y'all, and Shay jacked me up and like, Derrick, man, what you gonna do about it? Like, Derrick, you gonna just talk about it, or can we put pen to paper, which today is pen and iPad? Like, can we put a pen to paper together? Because write the vision and make it plain. So that he that readeth it, like all of you all now, when y'all read it, y'all can run with it. Right. Sometimes when people hear that scripture, write the vision and make it plain, they think it's only for them.
Yeah, and it's not.
I look at it like, Shay, that vision was for other people that we would later on teach this too. But watch me end this story in 13 seconds, and I'm going to give it to Shay. Because my wife do the exact same thing I do, but she does it from a nonprofit standpoint. So again, I saw a lady making 41 grand a month, and y'all, she didn't tell me that. She showed it to me. Miss Tiffany, that girl opened up her phone and went boop, 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 boop. She said, Derrick, look at what I made doing this. And y'all, she scrolled month for month for month. Y'all, I'll never forget that. Somebody had to almost pick me off the ground, Mr. Kevin. Kevin, when I saw 41 grand a month, and Shane, I made 28 grand a year. Can y'all imagine how that made me feel?
Like crap.
And when I snuck to her places, because y'all, when she showed me the amount of money, I had never saw her places yet. When she showed me the money, I said, ooh, I got to get in this. And that girl said, Derrick, I'll never teach you this, bro. So I snuck and I went to all her places, y'all, because remember, I was the social worker. And when I saw the rats and the roaches and the filth, tell them how I came home crying to you talking about, babe, we got to get in this, babe. Y'all, I was crying.
He was so sorry. Derrick is one of these people, when he has a passion about something, he won't stop talking about it. And you have to literally, like, it took me to say, okay, like, I'm so tired of hearing you talk about this. Like, what are you going to do about it? You can only do so much by running your mouth, right? And Derrick always says you can make your mouth fried chicken, right? But that's what he did. He just talked and talked and talked about it until we got to the point where I was just like, okay, if you're going to keep talking about this, let's put something to action. Let's put something in action so that you can truly stop talking about this and feel fulfilled by making a change and an impact. So, on this journey of becoming ILF owners and operators, we've seen a lot of situations. We've been able to encounter a lot of circumstances. We've joined other committees and organizations to help them find good placement for their residents, right? Whether it's hospitals, whether it's rehabilitation centers, whether it's drug rehab facilities, mental health hospitals, physical health hospitals. We've been able to be a true asset to them in our area and the areas that all of our ILF family serves by being able to apply, being able to provide affordable, clean, shared living. And when we did that, we saw not only a uptick in people wanting to also do something to help, and that was, other people that were interested in what we did. And why not pull them under our covering and help them to be successful? But when we started this, initially we got a lot of phone calls from the case managers, social workers that we were working with, and their issue was, hey, like, can you help these other people, because y'all are always full? Like, can you help these people do better so that we can take them off of our no list? Like, people were on their no list, and because our houses were filling so fast and we couldn't get houses fast enough, these case managers and social workers were like, hey, if I give you a list of people and get them to get in contact with you, would you train them in the ILF? So what we ended up doing is actually doing that. We started training these other individuals, of course, with a consultant fee, and they were able to see a significant difference in their value once they joined our coaching. And it wasn't even like they joined our coaching by choice. It was more so by force, because these organizations were willing to go to bat and say, hey, we're willing to help, offset some of the cost for you all, just so you can get this coaching. We'll assist, like, we'll help you guys get the coaching so that you can be an asset to us. And that's how Forston Consultants pretty much came about, because we were being contacted by case managers, social workers, other healthcare providers, other organizations that, when they went and started doing walkthroughs at our places, they were so overwhelmed at what we were providing that they literally put other people on do not house list or do not non-placement list. And, it got to a point where we couldn't sustain all of their, all of their referrals. So we had to duplicate ourselves. And a
lot of what you guys are seeing on their screen is where a lot of that came from. So again, these are some of those bad conditions. And I tell people all the time, man, if what you see on this screen don't break your heart, you on the wrong YouTube channel. Right. So how dare you can make 41 grand a month, walk in my hospital with your red bottom shoes on, Gucci outfit, luxury cars, but you house people in conditions like this. So again, if you're anywhere following us, even our folks on TikTok, please come over to our YouTube channel so that you guys can see what I'm showing you and what I saw as a social worker. And Shay just told you that also, guys, the need for this is so crazy that I don't care where you live at. This works in all 50 states. This requires no license. Right. You don't have to own the property, right? And there's no state permission that you need. But again, the devil is a liar that we gonna make it look like what you guys just saw on that screen. And then the straw that broke the camel's back, and we'll keep this thing moving. I want to answer a bunch of questions tonight, but I always want to make sure that people know where this came from. I am no genius. I just love God. I love people, and I love real estate. And I found out that that's the cheat code to life. Yeah. If you can find a business that pleases God, serves your community, right? But also, what if you can make enough money to feed your family and build the kingdom of God? Yeah, yeah. And watch this. For the 50th time, I'm not a pastor, I'm not a bishop, I'm not a priest, and I'm not over nobody's church. But boy, do I love God, and God crazy about me. And God showed me the cheat code, which is, Derrick, get involved in real estate, bro. Show the love of God through it. Help all of these people that can't otherwise get their own apartment. They can't buy a house. They can't pass a background check. Their credit is smashed, and they all got a background just about. Yeah. So when we first started, Shay, as you know, and I'm going to let you take it from here. Shay, when we first started, we only housed the bipolar disorder, schizophrenic, depression, schizoaffective disorder, personality disorders. Shay, what are we housing today because it's just so expensive to live anywhere?
Wow. So now, like, the population types have drastically shifted.
The everyday Joe, as I call it now.
Due to situations, due to circumstances, due to life. And what we're noticing now is that the average working individual with, some just, again, cannot afford the double deposits, making 3 times the actual income. You know, in the state of Florida, I don't think anybody nationwide makes 3 times
Definitely the population we serve.
3 times the rental.
There's some people that make it, but not the population we serve.
Especially those that are renting, right? For the most part, most people that are renting in that field or in that price bracket are renting luxury, right? And they can afford to rent luxury. But for the average working individual, it is difficult to say that they can provide proof that they make 3 times the rental income. And that's far-fetched, especially with the increase in rents, right? You're seeing it more so, like, you've got new platforms that are coming up, right? The shared living platforms. What's that one called? It's one that came up the other day that I was talking to someone about. But you've got all of these pad split. You've got all of these different platforms that are now allowing you to share your space. You think that's coincidental? People aren't just doing that because it's the newest hype to do or hype thing to do. There's people that have hit rock bottom because housing is not easily affordable, or they can't have access to decent housing because of their income. So again, this housing model, the shared housing model, the ILF model, no matter what the healthcare bracket, no matter what the background is, whether it's mental health, physical health, whatever it is, it's still going to be a viable income, housing source for those that are just below that, even the middle income, that right below middle income to that middle income population. It's a need.
Absolutely. So again, man, years ago we was housing what I would call just only the mental health population.
Yeah.
But today it's the school teacher, it's the police officer, it's the prison guard, it's the Walmart greeter, it's the guy that takes your order at Burger King, it's the Walgreens guy that's checking you out when you leave, right? So it's the guy that works at Sonny's Barbecue, right? I can go on and on and on, right?
Dental hygienist.
Exactly.
Right? It's the dental hygienist, it's the CNA, it's all of these different people that are in need of a shared living space. It's just how you package it, right? Nobody wants to live in an ILF or a shared living space that's dilapidated, right? That's deplorable, that just makes them feel lower than who they are. So that's why it is so important that if you do start an independent living facility, that you're not just so zoned in on one population type that you forget that there's still a need in
zoned in just making money to where you mistreat people. Because like this slide says, the breaking point was when I saw a lady sleeping on the kitchen floor paying $750 a month. And I'll say that again one more time because I talk fast and I stutter.
For the people in the back.
So what's the breaking point was for me as that social worker when I walked into that house, y'all, and I saw a lady paying $750 sleeping in front of the kitchen stove. And guess who sent her there, y'all? Mr. Social Worker Derrick. But that's before I knew the conditions I was sending them to. But Shay, when I found out, I felt so crummy about it. Ladies and gentlemen, that's one of the reasons why I had to leave that place. I saw my vision. I saw what God was already leading me to, and I couldn't be a part of this problem. How dare I send somebody to rats and roaches and know about it? So when I found out about it, like this slide say, man, you got to take action. And we talked about that last week, so I'm not going to waste time on that. But for you guys that just joined us tonight, this evening, so far what you've heard, what are your questions when we tell you now that you can start your own housing program, get into the game of real estate and helping people by renting or leasing the property? Now, Shay, if they can go and buy a property like you bought your last one, great. More power to you. But 98% of y'all that I teach and coach, you guys can just go out and buy a house tomorrow. Neither could I when I first started. That's why leasing and renting a property was genius.
Yeah, it is.
And now we connect with social workers and case managers as what we call our funnel system.
But can I tell
people
you
ask all the time, Derrick, where you getting these people from?
But can I even tell you something? Like, there's so many more opportunities. We talk about the social workers and case managers. People don't think about the travel professionals. People don't think about the everyday average working individual. People don't think about insurance companies that need to place people that have been displaced because of fires or the elements, right? Hurricane relief. All of those different things all of those different populations are populations that you can house within this model, because you, again, are providing a shared living space. So don't get so caught up on just the mental health or
correct.
The homeless.
There's tons of populations.
So many different populations, and you don't have to go chasing for them. Your community will speak to the need. Once you start advertising and letting people know who you are and what you do, that is when that phone's going to start ringing, right? You can automatically say, hey, I just want to house women. Right. The reason why the Angela Denise Foundation solely houses women is because guess what? When Derrick started, he was housing both men and women. They weren't in a co-ed housing structure, correct. But he got tired of, he was like, you know what? You're a woman. Why don't you handle the women? And that's where that came from. So it wasn't like Shay just said, I'm going to house women and that's it. No, I came into something that was already functioning. Yep. where Shay worked corporate.
So for all of my new people, guys, Shay worked corporate America. Shay didn't know what this was, right? Shay and I've been married going on 13 years, y'all. She had no clue what this was. Yeah. This was all a vision that I saw in my job. So that's where she's coming from with that. And I super agree with what she said. Don't get so caught up on me talking about the schizophrenic, the bipolar disorder and all of that. I'll admit that's my love. That's my background. I love mental health. But because it's so expensive, no matter where you live at today, there's so many guys, we're housing what I call the everyday Joe. And that's what's pretty cool about it. So seniors and military veterans are my favorite. But again, the devil is a liar that we're going to house them and stuff like this, especially making the kind of money that we're talking about. Yeah. So again, y'all heard me talk about this story. It took me 2 years, Shay, and I lost 60 pounds trying to figure this out because nobody would teach it to me.
I know.
I end up on the Channel 8 News. I lost 60 pounds. Guys, I did this the wrong way. I got in trouble.
And not like you did it purposefully.
But not on purpose, Shay, because I was trying to get it to look like this.
Derrick, let me tell you something. What I will not let you do.
Because this was the easiest part, is to change the look of it.
Was the easy part.
That was the easy part.
It was the vetting. It was knowing how to do appropriate assessments and making sure you're bringing the right people in. Like, prime example, a family member in our ILF family sent us an article, right? Yeah. When we were on our way home from Fort Lauderdale. And it was something based in the state of Florida where somebody running an independent living facility brought someone in that was significantly schizophrenic. And that person murdered someone, took the life of the roommate. And again, this is something that you've got to be cautious of. Like, you've got to pay attention and know how to assess. And that's where I see a lot of people fall short. And that's where they end up getting into trouble. And they say this model doesn't work. Mm-hmm. But that's because you don't know how to adequately do an assessment. Yep. People don't know the medications, how to understand the medication list. People aren't asking questions about medication. Are they even medication compliant without needing the help? So, we're seeing a lot of that. And that's the benefit of you, Derrick, having a coach that really knows mental health.
And not only because I had the social worker side of it, because the trial and error. Guys, even though I was the social worker, that didn't qualify me to do this. Because at the end of the day, if you forget everything I said today, remember this. At the end of the day, guess what we really doing, Shay? We're managing people. You can call it ILF, co-living, shared living. You can call it a circus show. I don't care what you call it. At the end of the day, Miss Bree, guess what we really doing? We're managing people. We're taking complete strangers that don't know each other and merge them together, and you will be amazed within 3 days they become family. Yeah. People ask us all the time, Derrick, how do you put them strangers together and make it work? Say, you house women. Speak to that. How do you put a bunch of women together and make it work? So the assessment.
First and foremost, the assessment is first and foremost, right? I don't assess based solely on the person that I am assessing. When I do an assessment, I'm assessing based on the people that are already in the home. And you cannot do that and do it well if you do not have some form of a relationship with the women or the people that you are already housing.
Got to keep them in mind, right?
Yeah, you've got to keep them in mind. And what I mean by that, by having a relationship, like you don't just throw people in a house and say sayonara so I can see you later. No, I'm very involved. And when I say very involved, I don't mean I'm at their house every day, but I do check in. I do, do post checks. I go and check, see how they're doing. Is there anything that they need? What's going on in the house? Like having conversations, and you get to know the residents that you're bringing in by just being active, being available, right? Spending a little time there. It doesn't have to be a whole 5 hours. It's, some days I just go and, before we're so busy now that before I used to just take my laptop and I would hang out with the girls, or I would take 2 or 3 of them, at a time for a drive, and I'll say, hey, let's go do this, or let's go grab ice cream. Let's go grab something to eat. One of my ladies was really in the dumps not too long ago, and me and your mom actually took her out for dinner. Like she loves your mom. Yeah. And I said, you know what, let's spend the day, let's have some time together. And this is building not even just that, it's getting to know them. And again, building that relationship with them, and then being able to understand how they operate and being able to assess based on who's already in the house. So prime example, I know how Miss A, I'm talking about long-term resident, how long she's been with us. We know her quirks. We know her things. Like we know sometimes somebody's going to act up. She may not have enough groceries. So it's my turn to step in and provide, or be able to make sure that everything's okay, or straighten up a family member to make sure that they're doing what they need to do. But that's pretty much her only issue, right? So I know I can bring somebody else in the house, but Miss A ain't going to have much of she's not a funky attitude type of person. So I know that whoever I put in the room with her has to be just as calm, has to be just as laid back, has to be just as, just as cool as her. I'm not going to put somebody that's high energy, bouncing off the walls, on 5,000.
So back to that assessment again, you're making sure that they're good fit.
Right. So you just have to know how to assess. And I think that is the importance of coaching and consulting. A lot of people give the independent living facility model a bad taste because they don't understand
they're just bringing anybody that calls their phone.
That's it.
And guess who was guilty of that 8 years ago? Me. Yeah. Because the pressure on you when you go and rent that house and 30 days rent's due.
That's it.
But let me tell you, somebody that's been in this a long time, I'd rather almost pay rent from my pocket than to get a knucklehead in there and get the wrong person, not take you 6 weeks or 6 months to get him out, depending on where you live at.
Correct.
Now, thank God for me, I live in Florida. My governor don't play here, and we don't play with squatting or people that don't pay rent. So if you live in places that, New York, New Jersey, California, God bless you. But if you live in one of these red states and that is very what I call landlord friendly, no problem. But some of you guys are living in places where you can't stand to get a knucklehead, is what we call them, right? Yeah. So just again, like we're just simply talking about, if you just joined us, we're just simply discussing independent living facilities and how you guys can get started with no license. You don't have to own the property, and your funnel system is social workers, case managers, and really social media. Because all of probably 90% of our housing comes from social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Yep. And the first thing that my assistant is going to ask is, ma'am, how did you hear about us? Oh, I heard Derrick running his big mouth on TikTok. We get a lot of that. Oh, I saw Derrick running his big mouth at Second Chance Housing. Oh, I saw Derrick teaching over there on LinkedIn. Yep. So all 8 businesses that me and my wife have, they're all on social media. Because I tell you guys, if you fry the best fried chicken and don't nobody know about it, how to know to buy it from you? No different from this housing program. So we scream this program from the mountaintops. And we live by this thing now that's called LIFT. Yeah. Shay, what does LIFT stand? He go a quiz for Shay, y'all, just to make sure she's paying attention. Shay, what does LIFT mean?
LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
You must be at least on those 4.
I have to do them on my fingers.
Now, I want you to be on Lemonade and YouTube and Pinterest and a bunch of other stuff, right? Snapchat, all of that stuff. But you must LIFT at least and be on LinkedIn, professional. Instagram, kind of cool and quirky. Facebook, old, tried and true. And TikTok, the new wave of things. Right. Yeah. So every business that we have today, and I'll admit, y'all, The only reason why we got 8 businesses today is because the goodness of God, what this business does for us, right? And one more time, the goodness of God and virtual assistants. So most of my new people may not know this, but everything that Shay and I do now, y'all, is ran by VAs. Shay and I also own a virtual assistant company in the Philippines. Yeah. That allows you guys to get a virtual assistant. That means a remote worker that can work for you and your business for $5 an hour. I don't care if you got a mechanic shop, you're a realtor, you wholesale, you sell chocolate chip cookies, you run a daycare, you're a chiropractor, whatever you do. We also got this system that's called Digital Flow Solutions. That's why our coaching is so great, because everything that you need, we're a one-stop shop. You don't go to a bunch of other places to get all of these things once you get our coaching. We give you the back end, the CRM, the software system, your phone line, your social media way to do that. All my paperwork.
You said
guys,
assistant.
I made the Channel 8 news a couple. Now when we make the news, they're celebrating us. It's all good news. When I first started, guys, I was on the news for doing this the wrong way. My whole drive today is to teach y'all, because people hid this from me. And now through the bumps and bruises, Shay and I want to make sure you guys get this right. So we teach this all over the world, right? In fact, our next place we're going to is South Carolina, North Carolina, then Atlanta. So we finally got dates, I heard.
Dates for South Carolina.
So big shout out to Katara, Justin, and Shay. I heard you guys nailed the dates. Are we releasing those or not yet?
Katara, you let me know in the chat if we're good to release those dates. And what we'll do is we'll say the dates, but we'll also be talking about tickets and pricing and all of that stuff. I'm going to probably meet with Katara by the middle of this week.
Okay.
To set up everything within Digital Flow Solutions so that can be done by our team. But we will be in South Carolina.
Good stuff.
And I got the hiccups. Boy, I'm terrible.
So what I also want to do right now is especially for all of my newer people, like if you just discovered us, I want to also give you guys an opportunity to ask any questions that you may have. So what I want to do at this point, we're probably going to take a quick commercial break. But when I come back, I want to see at least 10 to 15 questions in the chat. Because again, I want to answer you guys' questions to be able to get you where you need to go. Also, scrolling below the bottom of the screen right now is the first step to anything you want to do with us. Yeah. We got a free web class. And right now, if you text the phrase more info, listen to my TikTok people, because y'all going to get me kicked off.
No, just
TikTok don't like me doing this because they think I'm giving out a personal number. So scrolling below on the bottom of the screen for my YouTube people, if you text the phrase more info to that phone number, and it's 407-326-0086. Text the phrase more info, and that's it. Not your name, not where you from, not that you knew, because my system is automated. So as soon as you text more info, you're going to get an instant download. You got to click that and enter your name, email address, and phone number. That's my free web class. It's about 50 minutes long, and it'll change your life. It's more of a chronological order of what we're talking about tonight. Tonight, I just treat you guys like family, and we have a lot of open talk. That web class is what you need to get started, and it also gives you a call with me and my team to answer any questions that may not have gotten answered in there. So that's your first step. Second step is to subscribe to our YouTube channel, because there is no question in your brain that you can think of that's not already on my YouTube channel. But we love this so much, and I love questions. I want to answer y'all questions when I come back. So when we take this commercial,
real quick.
Go ahead.
When you put in that more info prompt, make sure you click the link in the response text message that comes to you. You will not get access to anything if you don't. I just want to reiterate.
Yeah, because a lot of people do that and say, well, I didn't receive nothing. That's because you didn't fill it out.
Yeah.
So just say it one more time, Shay. Go ahead.
Please click the link. Please.
So anyway, text more info to that phone number. Click the link, enter your name, email address, and guys, that'll lead to that web class and a free phone call with me and my team to help you get started. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but when I come back, I want to see 15 questions in the chat, and we're going to knock them out. If you here, you want to change your life, and that's exactly what we do. So I tell people all the time, especially for you guys that are asking about the coaching, I'm getting a lot of that lately, and all the time, quite frankly. Guys, we tell you this, right? We don't sell coaching. We sell transformation.
We do.
So all of the stuff that comes with it is usually complimentary. We build your website, $8,000 worth of my paperwork. Yeah. Guys, I give you that stuff. I sell transformation. When you say, Derrick, I'm ready to go, bro. I'm ready to change my life to go from A to Z. Like, that's when you guys come to me. So, and that's called the ILF Mastery Blueprint. That's our one-on-one coaching. And then the do-it-yourself version is called the DIY version of that, right? And then the free version of our coaching is tonight, every Monday, Tuesday, and Saturday. So I got something for everybody, Shay. There is no excuse under us. You either get it on Monday, Tuesday, and Saturday for free, or you invest in yourself, which is what I recommend, and you get that one-on-one coaching, or at least the DIY. The one-on-one coaching is $5,000, DIY is $500. This time last year, the DIY was $4,500.
Yeah.
The one-on-one coaching is normally $7,500, but all year long, both of those are on sale. So in fact, if you go to the website, you will see that it says $4,997. That's $3 away from $5,000. I cover the tax. The DIY is only $500. It's actually $4,997. I cover the tax. So again, no excuses. We got two models. That's coaching, and the other one free right here on YouTube. Also become my friend on Facebook so that you can be nosy about all the stuff that we put there. So friend me at Derrick Forston on Facebook and just be nosy. My team puts a lot of stuff there, a lot of content, a lot of information. And again, remember, I got over 830 videos, y'all, under the live tab. Not even counting the videos tab on my YouTube channel. The live tab alone, Shay and I got over 800 videos, y'all, of content that's 2 and 3 hours long. Hit the tab that says live. And a lot of people, y'all, get started from my YouTube channel. Yep. So we're excited about that. But Shay, I want to answer a bunch of questions.
Let's go. A whole bunch. So I'm going to put them up on the screen. So this one says, can you expand our other screen?
I sure can.
So that way we can see everything. There we go. Yes. I have a 3-unit building that has 5 beds, 2 baths in Chicago. Can you use a multi-unit for this?
Yes. This question sounds familiar. I think we've answered this one, or we had one that was similar. So absolutely, guys, as long as no rats and roaches in it, like, we don't get caught up on what the building is.
Correct.
So we got people that have ILFs as large as can hold 17 people, and we got them as small as a 1-bed, 1-bath. Yeah. So you having a 3-unit building, sounds like multifamily, this can absolutely be done in there.
So let's give them your tip.
So if there's stairs, the only thing that I would say, it may limit you with the seniors and the elderly adults. But again, that building works all day long.
Yeah.
Shay?
So I would say this as well. I wouldn't differentiate. So like I wouldn't have a private, a family in one unit and then go ILF in the other units. If you're going to do it, try to go the whole way ILF, unless you're doing like a really stable population or a population that, is like your working individuals. So be mindful of that as well when you're going to do it that way.
Good stuff. And also, if we're answering your question, like Heather, let us know. Say, Derrick, you answered it, or Derrick, you missed it. Right. So let us know, Heather, did we answer your question? Shay, next one.
All right. So I'm going to go up and then I'm going to come back down.
Sure.
So here's one. How do you get the property?
We either rent it or we lease it by using either Zillow, Craigslist, word of mouth, and my favorite, social media. So like if you went to my page right now, sir, I'm not sure how new you are to me, Clifton. And let me know that in the chat too. Like, how long have you been around us? But I literally, not even probably 3 days ago, showed you a walkthrough of me walking through a rental property because I want to rent it. Right. So we teach you guys the verbiage, the language, what to say. In fact, years ago, right, I would never tell people that you had to have my coaching. Now today, that's in a $97 ebook. So if you text the phrase purpose to that same phone number scrolling below, that'll give you an instant download of that ebook. It is only $97, and it comes with a role play of me talking it so that you can also hear it. So not only in the book, but you also get the role play. So again, years ago, I would never give that away. Now that's for $97, right? So yeah, rent it, lease it. And again, for us, either Zillow, Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, or my favorite, social media. And again, guys, watch me go a step further. The reason why people trust us so much, because we're just consistent and we post it all the time. So if God has already told you to do this, if I were you, I would start posting today.
Correct.
Because guess what happens when I email somebody on Zillow talking about renting their house? Guess what the first thing they do, y'all, is go and research me. They type my name in and go to looking for all of me. But guess what they gonna find? This is all I talk about. I dare anybody to go to any of my social media. This is all I talk about, y'all. So I'm a no-brainer to a landlord. Yeah. Does that make sense, sir? Like if you go to my social media, I look like what I'm talking about. So that's how we get the houses. Let me know if that makes sense.
Are all residents charged the same rent?
Jay?
No. And that's because we have different models within this one housing program. Right. So I've got private rooms. I've got private suites. I've got the shared room, and I have a shared suite. So prime example, the private room is just a room for one individual, no roommate. They still share the restroom accommodations and everything else. A private suite is going to be a private room with an ensuite bathroom. The shared room, again, is going to be 2 per room. They still share those common utilities and restroom. And then I have the shared suite. The shared suite is normally going to be that master that has the ensuite bathroom, but it's such a big room that you don't want to limit it to just one person being in the room. That's my shared suite. And all of those options have a different rate to them, right? So my private people, they start off at that $880. Can go up to about $900 to $1,000. My shared starts at $640.
So that room right there, what you guys see on that screen, Shay, again, tell them what each one of those beds go for, and then I want somebody to put in the chat the total math on it. Let's work together tonight. So Shay, this is the Angela Denise Foundation, and one of your houses. What are those 2 beds going for, and who's sleeping in those beds?
$640, 2 women that are actually from a program. So they're, I get paid for them by the healthcare facility. Okay. This is a private suite. Shared suite. So this room does have an ensuite bathroom for this one.
Now, if you're on my TikTok channel, right, you actually saw me pick up a check for those 2 beds because Shay was busy that day. So Shay sent me. The social worker literally met me and I filmed it. You guys know I'm super transparent. I don't hide nothing. How many of y'all saw that? Now, my subscription people that pay like that $4 a month, I'm sure you got it. But how many people saw me pick that check up and post that? I think the ILF Academy also got it. So if you're not in our free Facebook group called the ILF Academy, make sure you join that too. Now, Shay, watch this. Shay, do I charge the same price you do?
No.
Absolutely not. I don't take $640 from nobody. I can't afford it in terms of how my program works. So my beds start at $740, but they go up to $800. So today I pretty much get $800 per bed. So for me, that's $1,600 a room. Just to be working together, can somebody put 1,600 times 4? Because if that's a 4-bed, 2-bath, can 3 of y'all put in the chat, what am I making per house if I'm getting $1,600 per room? And let me know if you can see this on my screen because I'm not super techie, y'all. So can y'all see those 2 beds or am I the only one that can see that?
Yeah.
3 of y'all let me know if you can see those beds. Now, Shay, as they're answering that, who gets this private suite and what does this private suite cost in your place?
The private suite in my place is $940.
What is a private suite?
The private suite is a private bedroom with an ensuite.
Do they have to share that bathroom with anybody?
They do not.
Come on, Shay.
They do not. So that is the private suite at my lady's residence.
Does this make sense so far, everybody? How we're taking a 4-bed, 2-bath home, 3-bed, 2-bath home, 2-bed, 1-bath home, and we're taking people from homeless to hopeful. But within this one environment, Shay, there's 3 different housing models.
There's 4, actually.
Name them again, Shay.
The private suite, and then you've got shared, and then the shared suite.
Okay.
Okay, so you've got 4 different models: private, 1 person, no bathroom, shared bathroom, private suite, 1 person, private bathroom. The shared is shared bedroom accommodation, shared facilities. So shared restroom. Then you've got the shared suite, two per room with a private bathroom that they share.
Okay. So there's another picture of Shay's stuff. And again, like she said, now don't get lost in the sauce, y'all. There's 4 models because Shay gave y'all that bonus. I say 3. Shay gave y'all that bonus of something that we're doing newer. And I think it's genius. So the master bathroom, Shay, is this correct? Because if I'm wrong, you're going to tell me. Yeah. The master bathroom or the master bedroom is the one you're usually turning into the shared suite because of what again? Because it has the bathroom. Got it. Now, Shay, some people say ensuite, but right. Do you have also a tub and a shower, or is that just what is it? You already showed them the picture. My master bathroom suite is phenomenal. Okay. Like I'd be like, y'all lucky because I'll be deboning everybody out the house to get a bubble bath. They got the big old deep soaker tub. They got the glass shower. They got the dual sinks in that bathroom, and then they have a walk-in customized closet. So the closet was customized. And again, guys, I just want to go back to the chat because looks like Tracy helped me out. Looks like Katara helped me out. And looks like D Ross. I knew D Ross was gonna help me out. Thanks, Miss D Ross. That's North Carolina there, y'all. $6,400, and y'all watch this. We laugh and we joke and we cut up a lot on this channel, right? But I want to be serious for 2 seconds. Guys, I couldn't fathom making $6,400 a month. And Shay, on top of me helping people and doing what I call God's will, how many of y'all would love to live by this? Do God's will, help people, be respected by the community, but also make enough money to feed your family. Yep. Put in the chat, am I the only one that at one point I couldn't dream of making $6,400 Shay off of one house? Never mind 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 when you guys start scaling. I'm telling you, yeah. I'll never forget the day I kind of said, Derrick, you made 6 figures now, right? I was like, huh? Not today, not to be funny or disrespectful. We laugh at 6 figures. But when we first hit it coming from 28 grand a year, child, please, as my auntie would say, and my little niece. Child, please. I got a little niece, y'all. She said, child, please. But I'm going to check the chat, Shay. Looks like me and Heather are the only ones that we couldn't even fathom making that kind of money. But what's so crazy about this business, y'all? And y'all, I done tried a lot of stuff in my life. You name the business, I done tried it. Yeah. This is the only business, even out of the 8 that we have, that allows us to serve God, do well, and be respected by my community while I'm doing it. And see people's lives change. All while my family also benefits and God is also happy about it because it's ministry. Yep. I think that is the most important thing. This is a cheat code business, y'all. I don't care what nobody say. Lord have mercy. Like TikTok, y'all hearing all this good information and I ain't seen no hearts in the past 5 minutes. TikTok ain't hitting that heart. I'm gonna need y'all to show some love. All right. YouTube TikTok, don't let my battery go dead and it cut off now. TikTok doing us dirty over there. They just sitting there soaking up all that. They're coming all over the YouTube, I think. I'm telling you, we just got some hearts. Keep tapping that screen if you love the information that you're getting. But yeah, Derrick, I just think it's a blessing when you're able to do something. Come to YouTube if you can. When you get to do something like this and see lives changed in the process. Right? It's so impactful. PDR, purpose-driven real estate. Yeah, it's impactful. And you get to see people, you really get to see people's whole lifestyle change, right? I've seen women that I've housed for years and they leave out of the Angela Denise Foundation and their lives have completely did a whole turnaround for the good. They're able to reconnect with family. They're able to now, some have started jobs and started businesses and have moved out to be on their own. And that makes me feel so darn good. Yeah. That makes you feel so good when you can see the little thingy, when you can see the excitement of this person saying, hey, I was once broken, but now I have a newfound just zeal. I've got a newfound lease on life and I can now do all of these things because you all found me worthy of housing, first and foremost, in great conditions and just really believing in me. And that's some of the feedback I get from my residents. Love it. I love it. And so then the guys, as we tell you guys, man, the future of independent living facilities is going to be the new way a lot of people are going to have to live because things are just so expensive. But it's also one of the newer ways for investors to invest. and make money and impact at the same time. Next question.
All right. Next one's on you. Expand it.
What is your price for virtual assistant package only? So if you went to www.va101.co, that's our VA service.
Correct.
So Shay and I own a virtual assistant business, right? Based out of the Philippines. So, but watch me give you a cheat code though, right? The VA alone to vet, train, and endorse the VA is $797, right? For one VA. My DIY product is only $497 and it comes with a VA. So that's what a lot of people do. They get that when they really want a VA, but now they got the advantage of having all of my teaching, all of my coaching, all of my curriculum, all of my paperwork, and we still build your website on top of still getting that VA. So most coaches wouldn't do that and they'll say, yeah, go over there and buy that. I'm just honest. You can go to VA 101, just only get a VA. Because watch this, me and Shay we coach business, period. So some people come us and run restaurants and dentist offices. Their VAs are $797. My coaching students for ILF, I give it to y'all. Remember, Ms. D, I don't sell VAs. I sell transformation. Right. I don't sell those people. Websites. No, I sell transformation. I don't sell all that paperwork, essentially. I sell transformation. So all of that stuff's complimentary. So the best way to get our VA service is through our do-it-yourself ILF Mastery Blueprint, which is only $497.
And then you pay the weekly, you pay the virtual assistant weekly. All right.
And we have different levels for the VA. So for 4 hours a day, 5 days a week, that's $135.
Can you expand that one more time?
Yeah.
All right. So we are back to the questions. So how do you determine your rates?
I do a lot of coaching on this. I'd be a broken record, but I'll give the short version of it because we get this a lot.
Frequently asked questions.
So there's a lot of ways to do it, but the quickest ways is like to go to Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist in your area and type in the phrase room rental. You will start seeing an idea of what people are doing this for. Because watch this, y'all. Even though we call it independent living facilities and ILF, there's a lot of people that do this right in your city, but they just rent rooms to people. But at least it'll give you an idea of what people are doing it for. That's one. Number two is kind of probably my favorite and most accurate way. Call a case manager, social worker, and ask them. That way you're not guessing.
Correct.
And I'm so good at this. And again, I'm generous. Here you go. Good afternoon. May I speak to the director of social work, please? Great. Hey, Miss Carol, how's it going today? Great. And Bree, that day, your name ain't Bree. That day, your name is Deborah. My name is Miss Deborah, and I'm getting ready to open up a brand new facility really close to you guys' hospital. And I just want to know the need for housing, but also what are your tenants are used to paying? What are your clients are used to paying for the shared living? Because I don't want to be too high, and I also want to make sure I'm serving people in the right way. What are your clients used to paying for a shared living environment or a private room? Yeah. Bree, that way we ain't guessing. Yeah. We getting it right from the social worker, just like who I was. So you're looking for the Derrick in your city. Guys, I'm the guy that all of y'all looking for back when I used to be a social worker. I was the guy people was like bribing me to send them people because they knew I was the honeypot.
Yeah.
Dummy me for 9 years on the job, didn't realize everything I asked God to give me, he had gave it to me. I said, God, I would have helped people. He used my wife to trick me to be a social worker and go to college and get a degree. I said, God, I want to be involved in real estate. He showed me a lady mistreating people through real estate.
Yeah.
That girl was making 41 grand a month on it, not for what she told me. She showed me. She said, Derrick, look at what I made. And I'll never teach you how to do it, Derrick. You just keep sending me them people.
Just keep sending.
I said, wow.
So,
but anyway, that's how we find out. The Shay may have another one.
I'm going to add a tip to that. So once you find out what people are paying on an average, that's what you're going to utilize to help you start looking for the properties, right? Because you don't want to go looking for, if you're seeing that on average, most people want a private room. Their income is only $500, and you go and find a 3-bed, 2-bath that's $2,000. You done shot yourself in the foot. right? You've got a majority of people in your community or in your niche that are at an income, at a limited income of about $500, and you're now getting an asset or a rental that's going to cost you $2,000 plus utilities on a monthly basis. You cannot use that. That math does not make sense. So you want to make sure that when you get that average of the incomes or what people are paying in that shared living for rent, you now need to make sure that you're making a conscious decision on the rentals that you're looking at. Don't price yourself out of a rental, or don't bite your face. What they call it, bite your nose to spite your face, or whatever it is. Yeah, don't do that. So you want to look at this from a budget standpoint, just like any business. And
also, what's your overhead? Like, what is your rental cost of that property?
Right, and that's
all of that matters.
So once you get those numbers, you use those numbers to help you make a wise decision on being able to not break even, but to bring in a profit.
Yeah, and
that's what you got to look at. So if you're seeing like you're in an area where rents are lower, income may be sustainably good. You now have to make that decision based on, you want to make sure that you're getting the right property to help take these people from homeless to hopeful.
Yep. Next question. Let's do it. Love the questions, guys. Great questions too. Love it.
All right. Next question.
So next question says, do you insure your business now to prevent being sued?
Of course.
Absolutely. So Kevin's new to us, and I can tell because Kevin, that's one of my biggest mistakes, bro. I went through a $40,000 lawsuit that was on the Channel 8 News, bro. Kevin. So one of the first things that I teach you guys, no matter what business you're going into, because remember, Shay and I are business coaches. I coach a lot of people that do a lot of different stuff. Now, I will admit, it's about 80-20. Yeah. So 80% of people that find us want to do this. The other 20%, they're just so intrigued by our CRM system and all of our background stuff. They want the business coaching for that. So we coach people on a lot of stuff. But bro, my biggest mistake was not having insurance. So you need a general liability policy. Correct. In fact, I got a treat. My ILF Mastery Blueprint members, the lady that covers us for the insurance, she's speaking actually inside of our private community. So as a treat to you guys, the Lynette, the ILF accountant, is speaking this month, June. But the lady, Miss Renee Scott, that also spoke at our 2024 ILF conference, she was a bombshell. She's speaking in July.
So well.
So if you're part of the ILF Mastery Blueprint, his very question, our lady's going to cover that.
There,
right? But just to answer Kevin's question again, bro, I'm going to pretend I'm coaching you for 15 seconds, right? Just imagine for 15 seconds, I'm your coach. Kevin, your first step, bro, I don't care what you're trying to start, is get some insurance, a general liability policy, and get an LLC or some kind of entity. Now, my wife is a nonprofit. She can go all down that hole. I don't. LLCs for most people are quick, fast, and inexpensive. I don't get into the C Corp and the S Corp, not in terms of talking about it. My accountant, that's what she does. Correct. I just tell people to get an entity. I don't get too deep in which one, because that's up to you and your family and your lawyer. Mm-hmm. But getting a general liability policy, which I did it, led to a $40,000 lawsuit. And guess what I found out about a lawsuit, y'all? It don't have to be true.
Yeah.
The guy lied on me, but that didn't matter. He filed the lawsuit.
Listen, you gotta pay to you.
Come on, Shay. You better tell me.
You got to pay to defend yourself.
In fact, Shay just talked to our lawyer the other day.
I did.
One of our lawyers.
I talked
the
to
longer you're a business guy, you're gonna probably get more than one. Because we done ran into some trouble, boy.
And listen, and
that's why y'all so lucky too. Derrick, y'all have no right to run into none of the stuff we did, because we already have.
I had a lovely actually after hours. Steve called me after court. We've got one attorney. He's our civil law. He does anything civil for us, and he is amazing. Big shout out to the Chronic Law Firm. So amazing. Super good people. So I had called him for just a query about something that I'm kind of sort of going through. And he's so funny. He says, well, you've done all the work. So what do I get to do? So he gets upset because he's like, you done did all the work, Shay. I said, well, I learned from the best. You can't teach me something and expect for me not to implement what you taught me. So super amazing. You're going to realize that you're going to have to keep lawyers around, attorneys around. You're going to have, you know, a good support system for finances, whether it's an accountant, a CPA, you know, a tax strategist. You want to have all of these people around you, and you can grow into that. But just be mindful, attorneys are A1, especially now that you're in a real estate space. Yep. You want a real estate attorney. You want a civil attorney, you know, someone that defends, that can, you know, walk you through whether you're the plaintiff or defendant on a civil suit. You want to make sure that you have your, you know, your just altogether business attorneys, someone that you can call in and consult with. Like right now, we're looking at different other attorneys right now that we're developing something else. We need a specific type of attorney for that. So it's pretty cool when you get to see the realm of attorneys.
So anyway, as you see on that screen, we got a bunch of more questions, but make sure you join our free Facebook group, the ILF Academy. I promised to pour into that group in the month of July. It's been a little minute since I kind of gave them their own thing, but I'm giving in the month of July a mastermind to that group. So you guys be ready for that. Make sure you join the ILF Academy. A lot of sales and discounts and scholarships and coaching also happens there. So make sure that you guys join that. And Ms. Shay?
All right, let's go back to questions. Listen, I took a whole picture. I'm sorry. But that was funny.
Somebody needed that though.
Because people don't understand.
And Kevin said, yes, sir, we got it.
Kevin, let me tell you, nothing feels worse than just finalizing and walking off your job as a wife, right? And being in full-time entrepreneurship for less than a month. And get that knock on the door. Yep. Can you say not feeling that? That was not a comfortable feeling.
It's not a great way to go into business, is it?
That did not feel good to me.
I was already in business, right, guys? And when I snatched Shay from corporate America to help me because things were getting so great and fast and I was drowning in a good way. Yeah. Soon as she came into a job, boom, lawsuit. Right.
I was like, bro, what are we doing here?
We stood the test of times, man, and here we are today. And again, man, our coaching now is in 39 states. So we have coaching family members, guys, in 39 states. So this is not theory. This is something that we talk about and that we trying to do. And I keep telling y'all guys not to be funny or arrogant, but my coaching is going to look completely different next year, price-wise, availability. So make sure you guys get in this year. And with that being said, Father God, thank you so much for the seed that was sown today. Thank you for the ability to give what you just gave Shay and I. And Father God, by your grace and by your mercy, bring all of this information back to their remembrance and let them not forget it. But Father God, probably most important, allow them to be able to move at the speed of instruction to do exactly what you've called them to do. And God, let no devil in hell stop it. So today I pray that these people have the mind of Christ and they have an able body to do what you've called them to do. And one more time, no devil in hell, no family member, no hater, no outsider, no naysayer, no ex, no job, nothing stops this thing that you put in their heart, God, because God, you said that we keep you first. You will add all of these things unto us. And God, we truly believe that we're in ministry. So God, thank you for allowing us to be the hands and feet of Jesus to show the love of God through real estate. God, you are so smart. You are so genius that you allow us to merge real estate with the love of God and call it a ministry. And God, you are so smart and so generous. You allow our families to also benefit from it. What a genius business model, God, that you say you can do my will, help people, be respected by the community, but also make enough money to feed our families. God, we thank you for that. What a blessing that is. God, I pray that you make these people rich and you add no sorrow. God, give them the relationship that they need with social workers, case managers, and the right people. Yes. God, today, start bringing the right people around them. And today, get rid of the wrong people and the knuckleheads that not supposed to be around these people. Because, God, we want to do your will, your way, the right way, and the first time. And, God, if I'm to be their coach, make the way easy in the name of Jesus. And God, if I'm not to be their coach for whatever reason, God, you see fit and remove that then. Because God, we want it the way you want it. But God, I know you sent us. And if you're calling them, we want to be the ones to help. And right now we say thank you. We say thank you. Y'all join me and say thank you, God, for what you're getting ready to do in my life through real estate. And God will be ever so careful to give you all the glory and give you all the honor and give you all the praise. Now unto him that is able to do exceedingly, abundantly, above all we can ever ask or think, according to God's power that worketh in us. You guys be great. Don't wait to be great. And we'll see you guys tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, right back here.
Love you.